we go with a fun-filled adventure of a complete roofing project. See, I got most of the membrane off, got all the gutter rails, termination bars off. They're right over there. They got to be cleaned up and repainted. And sheets of plywood, there's 2 left right there. The rest of them are up there on the roof, so I can easily access all the vents and plumbing vents and everything coming out of the roof, and the air conditioner. That's right down there. I got from right about here all the way over there left to get the old roof membrane off. Well, wait till you guys see what that's like. That's the cheapest roofing system I think any RV industry would ever put down on these things. There's no plywood up there at all before I put plywood up there. You know, you couldn't walk on, you couldn't even crawl on this stuff. Whole reason why I'm doing this. I'll check back with you in a minute. So I'm going to get up on the roof here and show you what's going on. There's the tarp. I had tarped over this thing for the past couple days because of rain. And yeah, it does leak. That's what I had on the roof all winter. It's taking a winter beating. Let's look up here. And you can see where it's leaking right there a little bit. It's still a little wet. And it's just screwed down temporarily to hold in place. And there's the old roof up there. I already had plywood up on that section there from last year. That's going to come back up too, and put this 1/2 inch down. Let's start getting her up, see what we got. So we see, starting to tear the other part of the roof up. Now you see, this is all, that's all it is right there. There's no plywood up here. That's a cardboard. Cardboard with the roof membrane glued right to it. That's the stuff you get in your Amazon boxes. And then we got, we got mouse nest right here. It looks like, looks like he died up here. As I boxed them in. I sealed the crap out of this trailer. Looking out, mouse holes over there. All this is gonna come up. All the insulation front to back. And we'll see what I did last year to see if that's still any good, but I got plenty to put down. So, yep. There's a whole reason here putting this plywood down and putting a whole new roof on. Was this there, where it did leak, it was all saturated and there was no stability whatsoever. So, we'll get all this taken care of here. All right, see there, that's the air conditioner opening. So all the vents where the antenna is mounted, there's a refrigerator vent that's over here I haven't gotten to yet, but this is how it is. This is all they put around these things for the support of the vent, air conditioner, whatever, just pieces of OSB, and that's it. Everything else is just like this, more to come. So my original plan was to work from the back and clean out all the insulation and work my way toward the front, but those last 2 sheets of plywood up there are what I did last year. And this is 3/8 up here, so that's why I'm replacing it. However, it's going to need to be replaced anyway because of what I did last year, and I sealed the heck out of this. It's still got moisture in there. There's some mold growing there. Plywood is delaminating there. A little bit there, and over there is got mildew, mold growing there. So I'm going to tear this up, get this plywood off of here, and see what I got going on underneath. At least it's a nice day. We got 2 nice days ahead of today, and then it's supposed to rain again every day for who knows how long. But Here we go. Alright, so I got up to where, you know, what I replaced last year. This new insulation and all. I did all this last year. It still leaked somewhere. I mean, I slobbered the hell out of it with Dicor, and you know, everything was down. Could it be that old EPDM rubber down there? Or could be Dicor failing, I don't know. Look at this. These little bastards are very destructive. They started chewing through the ceiling too. They're totally ruined. This is all ruined. This is all going to have to be replaced. So much for all that last year, but this is what it is. Got to get to work. Now look at this. There's another hole right there. They tried to get through. Boy, they just chewed the hell out of everything. Here we are with the front off. Yeah, that was a mess. Get all that insulation out of there. There was a couple dead mice too. Yeah, they're gone. They started chewing through the trunk line there too for the air conditioner. So I'll get that all sealed up. Some of the tape's coming loose, so I'll get that all fixed. There's some mold issue. I sprayed some mold kill down. So let all that dry. And once all that dries and get all taken care of, we'll start on the rest here. Down here where these wires come through, there's a metal furrow. You can see, I don't think, no, it's not on that one, but there's that one right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Kind of hard to tell with the sun glare, but yeah. Let's see, where are we here? There we are. There it is right there. Got a little metal job in there. I got some bushings. This is what the RV industry does not do. And the metal will start compromising the wire. This is a 110 wire, so you get a compromise, you get a short, you're screwed. Especially with a roof on, you have to tear the ceiling out or tear the roof off to get to it to fix it. So I'm going to put metal bushing, or metal. I'll put plastic bushings in there. That's the way it should be. So every trailer I've ever seen, they don't do that for some reason. A whole bag of them's like a couple bucks. Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever. And they just don't do it for some reason. And it should be doing, because the way these things, you know, twisting around and everything, and you know, the wires, they can move around, especially that down there with a metal furrow hitting against the 110 wire. You know, they'll start compromising, and eventually you'll have a problem. That's it for now. Would you look at this right here? Wow. I mean, I wonder, as they got stuck, they had to have gotten stuck up here. I sealed everything. So, they probably ate each other. There's another one right there. It's a freaking Mickey Mouse graveyard here. I must have had there's about two, maybe three of them, about two of them up there. So this is what's going on here. I've known this for a while now. There was a bump in the ceiling right here. I mean, it's not soft by any means. There was no leaks here or anything, but one of the rafters here was dipping low right here. You can feel it. So what I did was I shimmied it, kind of jacked it up a little bit because it was sagging down about an inch. So I'll show you what I did, or what I'm about to do. So I'm up here now, and well, there's a cutout right there, and there's a knot. So it's dipping here, but the cabinets are underneath, so there's really not too much I can do about that right now. but I can over here, and this is where I propped it up inside. I didn't glue this in yet or anything, but you see that knot right there? This right here, that's where it was given away. Weird thing is, when I propped it up and let it sit, it snapped like the knot broke loose or something, but that's where it was given. They cut a notch out in these things way too big. That's only 1.25 inches right there. That's not good for the support. Same over there. Oh yeah, it's like that front to back, but what I'm going to do here, I notched out, I made a piece. I'm going to sister this in. Get all these wires in here. It's a little hard to do with the camera in my hand. I'm going to glue these two pieces together, screw them together, and that should hold that issue over there. Well, that's going to leave be, so we'll see what happens here. I'm going to get to doing that now and take that prop out of there and see how it goes. Well, there I have it. Took care of that problem. That sucker's glued and screwed. So that's done. Went inside, got rid of the prop I made in there, and no more bump. And that shouldn't be such a low spot anymore over there either. This side will be, but I'll have to check the other ones here, but I need to keep on going down there. I'm almost done with the insulation. There you are, day number 2. All the insulation's cleaned out. I had that last little bit over there. Got all the staples out on the ends. Scraped off a little bit of the butyl and the dicor. Still got a ways to go on that, but I need to get hammering down on insulation and everything. But right now I'm just doing the trunk lines here and metal furrows, and just cleaning everything up along here. And do this. These little things here, they're just a few bucks for a whole bag. And you just slip around like this, and then into that to protect the wires. See, that metal will start compromising the wires, start cutting in there. So these little plastic things will protect that. I've already done there, all the trunk lines and everything. We got just a little ways to go here. So that's it. Alright, getting down with the insulation here. Already did all the way back there. I gotta get rid of these tree branches. But all we did back there, ran a new cable wire for, that's where I'm gonna keep the antenna there. I'll run the cable wire down behind the cabinet that's back there. So I already ran that. I got this section here, put this plywood back over, and I got all the way down there to go. And there's a new antenna down there in the box. Just got it today. Here we are, day number 3. My site is a disaster. I mean, there's the old roof right down there. And that's the panels I had last year. That grew mold. I still cannot. Still boggles my mind on how it still leaked. I mean, it could be that right there, because that little bit right there is what covered the front. Because I just draped it back over, so it could be a leak in there. But anyway, I'll get all this here cleaned up eventually, but we're still down to this. Let's see what's going on here. All the insulation's done. All the paneling is glued and screwed front to back. It's done. So it filled in with wood filler on all the knots, so it's nice and smooth. After this is dry, it should dry, before long. I give it another 15 minutes, I'll check it again, and that's still a little wet, so These gaps here, there's a smaller one there, but this gap here, the rafters weren't quite 16 on center from here. Most of it's all 16 on center except for a couple spots in the front and a couple spots in the back there. Most of it's all 16 on center. So where I propped up, what was it, 2 days ago, seemed to work out okay, but my big concern is where you can just about, yeah, you can see it right over there where it dips down a little bit. Well, there's nothing I could do about it now. But the problem is with these rafters, you can see how much they notch out for the wires that go through. They only leave 1.25 inches left of stud for support. That's ridiculous. That's why they give out like that. So I'm gonna have to hope for the best. It's going to puddle there, which is another concern, especially with the air conditioner there. But however, the air conditioner will be up on a curb. I've already fabricated the curbs when I was in Georgia and brought them up here, so those are very, very time consuming. A lot of work with those things to try and get them right. So that'll be heat welded to the roof once the membrane's down. And that should not let any water in at all, because once it's heat welded to the roof, it's fused together and it won't allow any water in. But with a puddling like that in the winters they have here, I don't know, I'm too concerned about that. But anyway, yeah, I got all the plumbing vents drilled out. The holes are there. One for the antenna. TV antenna I didn't do yet, but I can drill it from the inside, so that's not a big deal. Everything else I can drill from the inside, and I labeled where the refrigerator vent is, so I know how far in to go. It's right around here. Once I get this all sanded down, I should be ready for the protective strips to go across every seam here and along the edges. I got a whole 35-foot roll right there. Be cutting that down to about 3, maybe 4 inches wide. And I have to lay that out and get that primed and glued and set in place for all the corners and all the gaps, you know, between each sheet of plywood here, because you want to protect that membrane from all this right here and all this, all the corners. Well, this will all be sanded down a little bit so it won't be too sharp. So, well, that's it for now. There we are. Get ready to roll this out. See, I got the protective strips on there. They're to protect the joints from, you know, bothering the main membrane here. So that's covering the joints and around the sides. See under here. So here we go. Day number, I don't know what day number this is. I lost track already. But you know, we're still at this point here. The roof membrane is on there. It is glued onto the roof. I keep a tarp up on here to hold down the sides, because the sides are not, you know, they're not stapled in, or the gutter rails are not up. The gutter rails are right here. And the termination bar. These are the termination bars right here, and they were all gooked up with, you know, the Dicor and the butyl and Flex Seal. The Flex Seal was a real pain to get off. I'm still working on it, actually. The gutter rails are done. That's the gutter slash awning rail. And so is that right there. And the other one's just the gutter rail for the other side. So they're all cleaned up already. Once I get these done here, I'll wipe them down and start painting them. And then I should be ready to install them up here. Now the tarp leaks. I'm only using that up there to hold, you know, like I said, to hold down the sides, because we're still like that right there, and I still have staples to pull out and get the rest of the butyl residue off. But you know, once it's down, you know, I'll cut along the edge here after I get the rail up. So same with the front, the termination bar, and the back. So once that gets done, then I can start putting up the roof components. So it's a 14 by 40 foot tarp. It's been covering this trailer over the winter, so it's really taking a beating. So that's where I'm at right now. These things are so time consuming. I think this is the worst part of the whole project, is trying to get all this stuff off. You know, that's about it. So I have this gallon of TPO primer that I bought in Georgia. It was back in March, and the expiration date is right here. It isn't until the 31st this month. Today's July 9th. So that says July 31st, 2021. I used most of it. I think there's about this much left in here. And it was in pure liquid form when I opened it and when I used it, until a couple days ago it started gelling. When I opened it up yesterday, it's just about completely gel. And I'll show you. Yeah, get a look at that. Look at that. It's like, that's not supposed to do that, is it? So I don't think that's really good to be using on my roof. That was completely all liquid. And it's primer. So I don't know. You know, I don't know. This was like 35 bucks. I have to go all the way to Burlington and get another gallon. That's going to cost another $40. Let's see. Oh, let's see. This is the air conditioner right now, where the air conditioner would be. Still doing the roof. The roof is the rain. It's raining on and off now. It rained solid all day yesterday and last night, really hard last night and this morning. That it does it every other day here, pretty much, and that really keeps setting me back from getting this roof done. And here, it's pitch black in here right now because there's no roof vent, and my clothes, my shirts, I don't dry my shirts, so I let them hang to dry, so I keep the doors open. There's a light there, and in the shower there will be a skylight. I think these two will be the first major components I put on the roof, because I really miss my vent. I really miss having light in here without having to turn the lights on. Eventually this whole shower is going to get repainted, or painted, I mean, you know, because after time it yellows up, and they all do that. All these camper showers, they all turn yellow. You can see where it was white down there. So I'll peel all that up, and I'll have to take out the glass here and clean it up and repaint it. So, but yeah, other than that, it'll get dark in here. So that's the bathroom here. It's a pretty good size. It takes up the whole back of the camper except for the closets here. There's one here too. So this is where the bear comes in usually sometimes. He comes in, there's a field back here. He comes in through that field. He comes in through this way. This is where I saw him the other day. He was standing right there, coming this way. And I was over here. I was right there on the back corner on a ladder. Yeah, very close. Keep that open. But when I saw him, he took off. He went back this way, and behind the trailers, he went down that way. And then he yelled for them that there's a bear, and then the bear come back this way. And then he took off towards the field back here, and then into the woods, and then I heard him back this way in the woods. And then he was going that way. And about 10 minutes later, he had them down by the dumpsters because I heard the siren go off. So that was a close bear encounter.